What is going on, guys? Panther here, and we are finally back with the second episode of our Draft League Focus. This week we are showcasing the one and only Mega Diancie, who, in my opinion, is one of the top megas in Draft League format. It really didn't get anything but stronger this generation with a number of different buffs that it received. So yeah, if you did not catch our last Draft League format episode, be sure to check that out. That was on Zygarde 50%. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the APA videos that have been uploaded this season so far. That's really the roadblock that kind of got in the way of this, just trying to scramble during the draft, getting the draft analysis up, and then getting this first couple weeks battles in. But now that we've kind of settled into that season, we're going to go back in and review some of these mons here. So we had a lot of suggestions for mons on the last video. We decided to go ahead and go with Mega Diancie though, because I really think this is an interesting mon in the format. That can do a lot of different things. It's not really overlooked or anything like that anymore. I think it's recognized as one of the top mons, along with some other threats like Mega Gallade, Mega Zardex. But I definitely think that this mon is up there as one of the best Pokemon in League format. And of course we're going to get into why, but let's talk about this mon a little bit first. Overall, let's talk first about prior to Mega Evolution. So this thing obviously is a legendary, so it gets some nice stats. Its defenses before Mega Evolution are 150, base 150. Of course, only base 50 HP, but that 150 defense, that 150 SPDEF is really useful. Its clear body ability before Mega Evolution can also be useful. We have a replay that's going to showcase that a little bit later here, but you know, the mega form is definitely the real threat. Typically leagues have regular Diancie tier 4, but Mega Diancie is where it's really at. It's got a fantastic combination of dual stab with rock and fairy. Of course, there's not a lot of things that resist fairy, steel and fire being two of the main ones. Of course, poison does as well, but that is the only three things that actually resist fairy. And with its rock stab, it eliminates one of those as being an effective check. So bulky fire types that can typically switch into some other fairies, mainly like Clefable or that's just the first one that popped up on top of my head. But yeah, mons like Arcanine and things like that can no longer switch in on Diancie just because of that dual stab. So the dual stab is pretty unique, but it is left walled by steel types. So steel obviously resists both rock and fairy. Mega Diancie, however, is blessed with a nice coverage move to hit that though in Earth Power. Also gets some pretty cool other coverage moves. It gets Psyshock. It also gets a unique move in Diamond Storm as well. So for those of you that do not know what Diamond Storm does, it is a move that boosts its defense +2 if it gets the percentage chance, and I believe it's 50%. Yeah, it's 50% on the Diamond Storm to boost its defense ×2. And then on top of that, it gets a lot of cool coverage moves, or not coverage moves, a lot of cool other options as well. And we're going to talk about those because a lot of those are showcased here in these videos. So yeah, we've talked about its pre-Mega Evolution form. We've talked about its move pool a little bit. So one thing we haven't talked about is its ability in Magic Bounce. So primarily in Gen 6, this thing would run Protect a lot to kind of be a lead and take advantage of Magic Bounce. Obviously that ensures that hazards aren't going to be able to set up on your side of the field because, yeah, it's just going to bounce them back, kind of like Mega Absol. It also bounces back things like Toxic, Taunts, Parting Shots. Parting Shot actually gives it kind of a weird dynamic because it'll actually give you the drops, and like if this was an Alolan Persian in front of me, for example, it would give Diancie the switch out and the Persian the drops. So it's a bit strange. Magic Bounce can really come in clutch though, and that's really what the first replay we have here is going to showcase a little bit. Now, Mega Aggron, of course, is a huge threat for Mega Diancie. Diancie does have Earth Power, so and it is very powerful. We skipped talking over about Mega Diancie stats. 50 HP, so that stays the same, but 160 attack, 160 def, 110 speed, so it puts it in a really nice speed tier, and then it still maintains 110 defenses as well, so it's able to still come in and take hits on things. But yeah, back to what I was saying here. Mega Diancie with that 160 base special attack stat is no joke to switch into. Now, the first thing, like I said, we're going to talk about is the magic bounce ability. So, I typically do not recommend staying in on mons like Mega Aggron. But if you're that confident they're going to go for rocks, running that protect is nice just to be able to bounce those rocks right back. So this is a really good turn for our boy Zamcro right here, being able to protect, kind of scout out what he wants to do, and then drop a big earth power on him for 50%, then get those rocks up on his side of the field also. So you can see how this mon is already kind of, you're able to play mind games with it, especially if you can afford to run protect on this thing. So yeah, that's the first replay. I'm going to showcase here another replay here from our friend Driftbling against another one of our friends, Nathan. And yeah, we're gonna show you guys the power of Mega Diancie here. Mega Diancie really functions well as something not listed on this layout, and that is just sheer as a breaker. This thing is crazy to have to switch into. It just 2-hit KOs a lot of mons, especially on a team like Nathan's here that really doesn't have a good resist to it. That resist was the Vile Plume, and that didn't even resist the Diamond Storm. So, you can see here that just Diancie can just eat through teams, especially unprepared teams. I mean, it's ridiculous what this mon actually can just throw together and do. So yeah, you really can't sleep on switching into Mega Diancie. You really have to have a solid answer to be able to consistently switch in and switch out here to this mon, or at least a Scarfer to kind of threaten it, because like I said, that 110 speed tier is just really nice to be able to threaten offense or slower, bulkier teams. So yeah, we've kind of talked about it as a breaker here. This is another one from Ogalbina here, just really showing what this mon can do. It's really hard for opposing teams to switch into this mon. I mean, like, this is a Gliscor. This is a really bulky mon typically, and that's taking half. Now he's going to be able to kind of check it there with the Earthquake and break the sub. But this mon's still just a menace to absolutely switch into. So the first set we're actually going to talk about is a really good sweeping set, and this one comes from Mio here, who's a very skilled battler. He's actually in APA Evolution this season, which is one of our leagues that we've created to kind of put the top battlers in the community against each other. So Mio definitely knows what he's doing here, but if you give Mega Diancie the opportunity to set up a rock polish, that's going to eliminate any type of faster threat, so to speak, to it if you brought it like a Scarfer. So here in this replay in particular, Mio is using Diancie's natural 150 bulk before Mega Evolution to set up its rock polish before it actually needs it. And Mio's smart here too, because he's staying in regular form to be able to take that water shuriken as well. And you can just see how this mon can absolutely just steamroll teams. And so here's the Mega pop off, and there's the Earth Power. Now, of course, you need to be in a league that allows that to be able to do that. But you can just see how this mon is such a versatile mon, and you can really EV it to take hits. So yeah, that's a cool rock polish sweep here. And I believe here is another one here from Zamcro. This is another rock polish sweep. So again, mons that especially that are going to be choice locked into moves. So this was a bad idea here. Flare blitzing against something like a Mega Diancie there in the back, so it gives Scoot the opportunity to come in, set up that rock polish against a mon that he knows is locked into Flare Blitz, and then, like I said, he's going to absolutely just start steamrolling this team, which it exactly does. This mon doesn't need to boost anything but speed just to outrun those Scarfers, or those things that naturally outspeed it to really be able to go in and sweep teams. So enough about the rock polish set here. What we're going to talk about next is the Calm Mind set. Now the Calm Mind set's very interesting, and as you can see, this replay comes from Hardcore and Whoop here. two buddies of ours from the UPA. And so Sticky Web is on hardcore side of the field, but keep in mind that Diancie before Mega Evolution does get clear body, so it's going to be able to ignore those webs. So at this point, Whoop knows, barring any Scarfers, his Mega Diancie is going to outspeed even with a Sticky Web up. And with something that's a weaker special attacker like Rotom, he can set up a free Calm Mind and just really start to go in now. He's going to be able to eat that from Scarf Nihilego, and you can already see where this one's going. Yeah, Diancie's just going to, again, this is what Diancie really does best, is just, it breaks and it sweeps. It does that just so good. Now, we've showed you a lot of replays of Diancie just absolutely blowing through teams. Now, the question is what do you do to opponents that have really good checks? So in this particular case here, we've got our boy Hugo here playing Jock, and you can see on the other side of the field there is a big problem to Mega Diancie in that Celesteela and in that Nidoqueen, especially if it's a Shukaberry Nidoqueen. So now Hugo is one of the top battlers that I know, and obviously you can see this has not started so well for Jock, predicting that turn 1 switch out there, but Diancie's just going to be able to keep subbing up. And you may be asking yourself, why is he doing this? So Jock's making some pretty huge over predictions here, but the sub Endeavor set just really works well, especially to really take out checks to Mega Diancie. So as you can see, that Nidoqueen is basically eliminated completely there, and that Celesteela is no longer a switch in because the Diancie can click Endeavor and then proceed to hit it on the following turn with that Moonblast or Power Gem and knock it out. So yeah, the Endeavor set really can put in the work if you have the right matchup and a person has the skill to use it. That's kind of one of the harder sets to use in my opinion. But what would this series be without one last replay to showcase the heat that this thing can run? So an Amoonguss is a pretty good switch into a Mega Diancie, and we're going to see another replay here from Scoot that's going to kind of showcase what Mega Diancie can do to cause Amoonguss some problems. So I believe this is another subset here for Mega Diancie, and it is. So you can see sub's kind of a popular move to run on this thing. It's just really reliable because you get the sub off and you can kind of showcase what they want to see, what they want to sack. But you can see the skill swap being showcased here. That's going to eliminate the Amoonguss being able to get the Regenerator. Now it doesn't really pay off too much here. It's not going to be able to get the regen at least, and it's on re-entry. It's going to take those rocks and those spikes. But this mon has the ability to be really cool and run some heat as well. So now that we've kind of talked about the mon, let's talk about some team options, which was a good tip in my last video that came from a commenter. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But I've used Mega Diancie in a couple of Wi-Fi leagues, and what I like to pair it with myself are a couple of different things that I look for. So in a league once, I did pair it with Latias. I really like that as an immunity to ground types to switch into like earthquakes, earth powers, things like that. It also can check poison types as well with Psychic Stab. And then also it can take water and grass types on for Mega Diancie. So it can switch into a lot of moves that Mega Diancie does not want to take. It can't really switch into the steel type moves. But it can also take the fighting type moves. So if Mega Diancie is the only fairy on your team, then a mon like Latias is definitely bulky enough to switch in and take those types of moves on. Now it is concerning those both being in the same speed tier, of course, at 110. But there are other dragons that you can definitely pair it with to kind of alleviate that. Another mon that I've seen it paired with quite a bit is Zygarde 50%. And we've already kind of talked about what Zygarde does in Draft League format, of course. Zygarde's really good at breaking down steel types, and if steel types want to stay in against it, it's probably going to give Zygarde the opportunity to set up and do what Zygarde does as well. So terrific offensive core with Mega Diancie and Zygarde. I like it with Garchomp a lot as well, but I've definitely seen it more often than not with Zygarde. Another mon that I think functions really well with Mega Diancie is like a Dugtrio, because again, it can trap those steel types and knock them out, barring like a Bronzong or something like that. I also like Magneton with it as well, because that's again going to be able to trap those steel types. If you can eliminate, not a lot of teams have counters to Mega Diancie, but if you can either eliminate those, then it's going to make Diancie that much harder to switch into, or if at least you can have the threat of those on your team. Even if you have a Magneton on your team, for example, that's going to force that Celesteela to at least run a Shed Shell and not be able to get the Leftovers recovery. Or it's going to be able to force the Ferrothorn on the opposing player's team to run the Shed Shell, and it can't run the Aqua Berry. So Mega Diancie can't blow it back with the HP Fire, for example. Those are, I think, are fantastic mons to pair with Mega Diancie, because even if you don't bring them, it still forces that prep on those bulky steel types that take on Mega Diancie so well. So yeah, guys, really hope that you guys are enjoying the showcases so far. The draft league focuses on particular mons. Again, leave me some mon suggestions in the comments section below. We're gonna try to get the ones that have the top likes on them, of course. Leave me some feedback again. What do you guys want to see? What did you guys like? Did you guys like any of the changes that we did? Would you guys like the team suggestions? Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content so far this season. And of course, we definitely hope you've been enjoying the APA. We're so close to 300 subs. Would appreciate it greatly if you guys could get us there. I think we're only 19 short at this moment. So any love that you could show us there in that regard, we would definitely appreciate. But again, guys, that's it for me tonight. Hopefully we'll have another focus up here in the coming weeks if you guys have been enjoying the series. But again, we appreciate your love on the series so far. But yeah, guys, until next time, we're out of here.